Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for our e-Gurukul sessions. And today is a Thursday. We have a Krishna Lila discussion. So anyone knows who has given the foreword for Krishna book? Every beginning of every book, there is a author, mention of the author, his dedication, and then introduction, then foreword. So who has written the foreword of Krishna book? Huh?
Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada.
No, not Srila Prabhupada. The foreword is written by anyone knows who sponsored the Krishna book printing? Srila Prabhupada was so happy.
George Harrison.
George Harrison.
George.
Yes. So the George Harrison has been written that forward. And then in that at the end he writes, all you need is love. All you need is love. Everyone is looking for a love in the world. So real love can be sought only when we connect with Krishna. And that's how our life can become very happy. I'll show you one picture now. Yeah. So you raise your hands who understand the meaning of this. You are able to see on screen. Who would like to explain this picture? What this picture is mean?
Prabhuji, this picture is to be like, if we want happiness, then we have to have Krishna. Happiness means Krishna.
Yeah. The Google, there is a search engine. You type the word, and if there is some mistake in the word or so, it gives a suggestion. Did you mean this? Do you want to search this word? So here devotees have made very interestingly. They have typed the happiness. Oh, did you mean for Krishna? Means what? Happiness can only be found with Krishna. Without Krishna, all this is only an illusory happiness, temporary, short while. Later it creates some more trouble. Today we were reading Srimad Bhagavatam with our senior students. So Prahlad Maharaj section it comes. Prahlad Maharaj says 7.7. I think 43, that series there. So Prahlad Maharaj says the real happiness can be experienced when one stop trying for happy in this world. So come on, how can I stop trying to be happy? If I want to be happy, I should try to be happy, right? Don't try happiness in this world. If you want to, if you try, then you will get with the problems also. So real happiness, stop trying happiness means what? Then you turn towards Krishna. With Lord Krishna only, you can find the happiness. And that's why we have this Krishna Lila discussions, so that we can really understand how our life is and what all things we can really add in our life, follow our life, so that we can really make our life better. Okay, so let us see our today's discussion. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let us begin our wonderful discussion about Uddhava visits Vrindavan. So yesterday we read about the theme about the where we meditate upon, like that we become. So the Uddhava was fully about Krishna only. He was completely thinking of Krishna and he was so dear to Lord Krishna. So his body had also had a similar feature as like Krishna only. There's no difference. And who is Uddhava of Krishna's? Yesterday we saw that relationship also. No? It was mentioned. Prabhupada writes.
Prabhuji, Uddhava is like Krishna's cousin.
In what? Whose side? Whose side? Cousin. Mother side.
Nanda Maharaj side.
Nanda Maharaj. No, not Nanda Maharaj. Vasudev. Yeah. So Krishna's father's brother. So Vasudev's brother's son. Okay, so that way Uddhava is related. So let's see about further. Why Krishna wanted to send to
Prabhuji, their both beauty and strength is like same to same.
Yeah. He was the son of
But the
Vasudev's
strength
brother.
is not that much, but their bodily, all this same to same.
Yeah. So let's read about further. What is a point of? You all are able to see the book, right? Text is visible.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
Prabhuji.
yeah. Uddhava. Yeah. This we. Ye thamam prapadyanti. This you read. Is a teacher, very intelligent. Is still to. Uddhava is described as the most exalted personality in Vrishni dynasty, being almost equal to Krishna. He was a great friend of Krishna's, and being the direct student of Brihaspati, the teacher and the priest of the heavenly prince, is very intelligent and sharp in decision. So this also I think we read yesterday. Yeah. So he was highly qualified. Krishna, being very loving friend, wanted to send him to Vrindavan just to study the highly elevated ecstatic devotional service practiced there. Okay, so Uddhava was very learned about knowledge of life and then all the subject matters and all. But Krishna wanted to show him now the special, the highest thing, right? The love of his devotees, how much they love him. So that's what Krishna, one of the purpose of sending him Uddhava is this reason. Even if one is highly elevated in material education and is even the disciple of Brihaspati, he still has to learn from the gopis and the other residents of Vrindavan how to love Krishna to the highest degree. Right? So even if one is a so top student from Brihaspati's disciple or so, but still he has to learn from the gopis of Vrindavan about how to love Krishna. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Vrajavadu Vargenaya Kalpita. So Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa 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 Anudas. Many places Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says how we have to be the servant of the gopis of Vrindavan. They are the topmost devotees. And then we want to learn how to love and serve Krishna. So they are the topmost teachers. So we have to go and learn from them. And this also was been shown in the very amazing episode. All of you, if you heard about Krishna's headache. Right? You know that episode? Krishna had got a headache. And then the Narad Muni was been appointed to solve that. And Krishna says, you get the dust of my devotees. That will only can solve. So the sages and saintly people, I mean the rishis and all, they denied. They said, how can we give the dust of our feet to the Supreme Lord? we will go to hell. But when same Narad Muni comes to gopis, then gopis immediately start digging the earth with their feet and then give the dust to Narad Muni, says, you go and give it. And then upon clarification, what gopis reply? Anyone knows? Narad Muni says, don't you know? You will go to the hell for these things. Then what gopis reply to Narad Muni? Anyone know that story? The Krishna's headache. Anyways, we'll show you the picture.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So what gopis reply then? Gopis say, for the sake of Krishna's one, yeah. Yes, somebody speaking.
Yeah, bro, means, Gopi, they told that means if by the dust of our feet, Krishna can means get relief for even 1 millisecond also, then we are prepared to go to hell for million lifetimes.
Yes. So for Krishna's happiness, we are ready to suffer forever, no problem. But Krishna should be made happy. So this is a difference. In normal sense, people keep themselves in the center, and then they keep all things around. But the exalted devotees like gopis, they keep Krishna in the center for his happiness, for his pleasure, whatever can be done, no problem. Let's do that. But Krishna should be given happiness. So that's what Lord Krishna wanted to show to Uddhava. It was Krishna's special favor to Uddhava to send him to Vrindavan with a message for the residents there, which was meant to pacify them. So Uddhava getting a special favor of Lord Krishna to go there. Lord Krishna is also named Hari, which means one who takes away all distresses from the surrendered souls. So quickly can give some examples for this, how this name Krishna fulfills. One who takes away all distresses from the surrendered soul. Which all episodes comes in your mind? Very good. Gajendra.
Lila.
Yeah, obviously, yes. Prabhupada Lilamrita will find many. Any episodes from Srimad Bhagavatam?
Prabhuji, Arjun.
Arjun also, yeah. Here Jashitra is writing about Gajendra, correct. Gajendra was in a great distress because the crocodile attack. Immediately prayed to Lord Hari. Lord appeared and relieved. Prahlad also. Of course, Prahlad never felt as a distress because he was ready. He had a full faith in one sense that, okay, Lord is there. Who can do anything without the Lord's permission? Let what there happen. So we find the smiling face of Prahlad in all the pictures. We don't find, oh, Prahlad is in a fear or a worry or a stress or kind of a tension. Right. So, but especially for the others as well, Lord is there to protect. Like Draupadi was in a challenging situation. She was getting disrobed. Immediately Lord Krishna comes and protected. So he's known as Hari. Har lete hai. Hindi, they say Harna. जो अपने distress को हर लेते हैं. That's called as Lord. That's why Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya states there cannot be at any time be a worship exalted as that realized by the gopis. Yeah, just now we were saying some of the verses, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoted that being very anxious about the gopis' grief, Krishna talked with Uddhav and politely requested him to go to Vrindavan. Shaking Uddhava's hand with his own hands, he said, "My dear gentle friend Uddhav, please go immediately to Vrindavan and try to pacify my father and mother, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Devi, and the gopis. They are grief-stricken, as if suffering from great ailments. Go and give them a message. I hope their ailments will be partially relieved. The gopis are always absorbed in thoughts of me. They have dedicated body, desire, life, and soul to me. I am anxious not only for the gopis, but for anyone." Here Krishna makes very amazing points. Prabhupada is writing. I am anxious not only for the gopis, but for anyone who sacrifices society, friendship, love, and personal comforts for me. So even anyone of you also do these things for Krishna. Krishna is always having a concern for us, for you. Right? So we take a step towards the Lord. Lord is ready to take hundreds of steps towards us. That is his reciprocation. That's why he is always looking forward for the devotees' love, giving devotee all the comfort, because devotee has given himself 100%. It is my duty to protect such exalted devotees. What is the famous verse? It is my duty to protect such exalted devotees. Krishna's protection for his devotees, those who completely surrender to him. What is the famous verse? Bhagavad Gita say?
Kaunteya Pratibhaniti Nama Bhaktya
Yeah, correct. Ananyaschintayanto mam yajana paripasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshanya क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा शाश्वत शांतिम निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानेहि अमे भक्त्या प्रणश्यति. My devotee never perishes. Any other words? Krishna says, I am there to protect. No worry when there is a Lord Hari. Yesterday we read that. Famous words. Krishna says, just surrender unto me. I will give you all protection.
Roja Sarvadharman Parityajya
Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarva Papyapya Ma Shucha. Do not fear when I am there. So the gopis are the most dear. They always think of me in such a way that they remain overwhelmed and almost dead in anxiety due to separation from me. They are keeping alive simply by thinking that I am returning to them very soon. So this is the highest example. The gopis are the highest example. So how we can follow? At least scheduled time we should give. The gopis are giving practically their whole existence. Their thoughts, their words, their body, mind, soul, everything they are giving. At least whatever, every day we get a time, whatever our scheduled time, we should make sure we chant very nicely. Chanting time is directly connection with Lord Krishna. You're calling to Lord Krishna. So at least that much time we should give our whole mind, because the thoughts comes, isn't it? We are chanting, but mind always running on some thoughts, looking here, there, or seeing here, there. So at least try to give that time fully for Krishna. Whatever 1 hour, 2 hours you're chanting or doing your rounds, one should try to give as best as possible. Requested by Lord Krishna, Uddhav immediately left on his chariot and carried the message to Gokul. He approached Vrindavan at sunset, when the cows were returning home from the pasturing ground. Who else reached in the sunset to Vrindavan? You remember? That personality. Akrura. Yeah. Akrura also starts in the morning on the chariot, and then by evening he reaches to Vrindavan. So Mathura to Vrindavan. Now also you get down at Mathura station. So it is just around half an hour drive. So of course, now the things are being shortened. Those days it might have been really a forest and kind of a Yamuna and very rivers, and going on a horses. Right? So surely it have been a great journey. So evening time, when the cows were returning home from the pasturing ground, Uddhav and his chariot were covered by the dust raised by the hooves of the cows. He saw bulls running after the cows for mating. Other cows with overladen milk bags were running after their calves to feed them with milk. Uddhav saw that the entire land of Vrindavan was filled with the white cows and their calves, running here and there all over Gokul. Gokul. Go means the cow, Kula means the home, like a Gurukul, the Gokul, where the cows are residents. And he could hear the sound of milking. Every residential house in Vrindavan was decorated for the worship of the sun god and the fire god, and for the reception of the guests, cows, brahmanas, and demigods. So when we were there in Govardhan last 2 weeks or so, if you remember, from there we were speaking. So that temple are practically in all the homes. Every day morning the cow comes, sharp 7 o'clock. She'll be right there in front of the house, in front of the temple. And then the lot of nice, the jaggery, big jaggery given for the cow, the rotis, the spinach, right? Lot of things given. For the dogs, the breads are given. For the ducks, the grains, the bajri grains and all, they are being given. For monkeys, bananas, carrots, they were given. So for everyone there, Vrindavan, whoever is there and all, the service has been offered. So this is the attitude, reception, giving a service to all the people who comes and goes. So what is that Sanskrit saying? Athithi Devo Bhava. One should treat the guest as much as like we treat the gods. So, and then what to speak of especially the great personalities like sun god, fire god, brahmanas. So surely the service is a great opportunity. Reception, it's very important. Every home was sanctified by the lights and incense. All over Vrindavan, there were nice gardens filled with the flowers and the sounds of humming bees and singing birds. The lakes were filled with the lotus flowers and with the ducks and swans. Okay. So this is a Vrindavan where there is no pollution, where there is no any wrong things. It's always Krishna conscious, filled with everyone is serving Lord Krishna. That's what it's beautifully manifested. Uddhava entered the house of Nanda Maharaj and was received as a representative of Vasudeva. Nanda Maharaj offered him a sitting place and sat down with him to ask about the message from Krishna, Balram, and other family members in Mathura. He could understand that Uddhava was a very confidential friend of Krishna's and therefore must have come with a good message. My dear Uddhav, he said, how is my friend Vasudeva enjoying life? He is now released from the prison of Kamsa and he is now with his friends and his children Krishna and Balram. So he must be very happy. Tell me about him and his welfare. We're also very happy that Kamsa, the most sinful demon, has been killed. He was always envious of the family of the Yadus and his relatives. Now because of his sinful activities, he is dead and gone, along with all his brothers. So that's what, if the demoniac people are there, then naturally people look forward for his destruction, right? That's why we have to look into our lives also, how we deal with others. Do we want others to say that, hey, you go away, you don't be with me because of our wrong behavior? Or do the people really love to be with us? All of you remember we were saying that one statement, how one should lead our life. Anyone remember? Kamsa was leading his life in such a demoniac way. People were thinking, when he's going to die? Let him die better. Let him finish him off immediately. That's what Nanda Baba is telling. We are very happy that Kamsa was got killed. Anyone remember that statement we said? How one should live one's life? Lead our life in such a way.
Prabhu means at our
Remembering Krishna.
Yeah, remembering Krishna, correct. But something more, yeah. Of course, that's
means,
yeah.
Prabhu, during our birth, we cry and everyone laughs, but then when means during our lifetime we should do means such a work that means at the time of our death means we should be laughing and everyone else should cry.
Yeah. people should feel sad. Yeah. Jashidpur is also writing. Oh, such a wonderful person he was. Why he's leaving? We want that person with us. So here Kamsa was demoniac, so naturally everyone is looking for him to get destroyed. So our behavior matters a lot. Here Kamsa was always envious, giving a trouble for all his members and everything. So then naturally, like a snake is envious. So nobody keeps, oh, very nice snake has come, let us keep him in home. Immediately people will take stick and hit upon and then kill him off. Right? Because nobody likes, because this causes a disturbance to others because of his bad behavior. So same way, human also will be more deadly than snake also if we become envious. Right? So our life also will not be appreciated by others. So we have to keep very proper dealings and attitudes. Please let us know whether Krishna now remembers his father and mother and his friends and companions in Vrindavan. Does he like to remember his cows, his gopis, his Govardhan hill, his pasturing grounds in Vrindavan, Or he has now forgotten all this? Is there any possibility of his coming back to his friends and relatives so we can see him, see his beautiful face with its raised nose and a lotus-like eyes? Right? Lotus verse. Which is that lotus verse? Nanda Baba is also telling you, lotus-like eyes. We studied na? Lotus verse. Everything is lotus, 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 lotus. Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Maline, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. So lotus is the most pure and very, very beautiful. That's why it is compared. Actually, Krishna is not like a lotus. Krishna's beauty is beyond comparison. But for our worldly sense to compare what is the best thing, that's what it is compared like a lotus. But it is much more than that. Okay. We remember how he saved us from the forest fire, how he saved us from the great snake Kaliya in the Yamuna, and how he saved us from so many other demons. And we simply think of how much we're obliged to him for giving us protection in many dangerous situations. My dear Uddhav, when we think of Krishna's beautiful face and eyes and his different activities here in Vrindavan, we become so overwhelmed that all our activities cease. We simply think of Krishna, how he used to smile and how he looked upon us with grace. When we go to the banks of the Yamuna or the lakes of Vrindavan or near Govardhan Hill or the pasturing fields, we see that the impression of Krishna's footprints are still on the surface of the earth. We remember him playing in those places because he was constantly visiting them. When his appearance within our minds becomes manifest, we immediately becomes absorbed in the thought of him. So all of you remember those 5 A's we saw, na? Now here it is coming. All those 5 A's we can see how they were having in connection with Krishna. Attraction. Anyone remember what are those 5 A's? Attraction, attention, attachment, absorption, and affection. Okay. So they were so much attached to Krishna, that attraction, right? And that's what that brought out attention to look Krishna's every details. Oh, he used to go to Govardhan Hill. Oh, he used to go on the lake of Yamuna. Oh, how he used to go with his coward friends and all. Oh, how he used to take care of us and all. So attraction for everything about him. They have not forgotten anything. And that's why they're attached to him. They're looking forward for him when he's going to come back. Right? And that's why they're absorbed. That's what last line Prabhupada is writing. No? We immediately become absorbed in the thought of him. So Krishna consciousness, how to define in one word? That's about absorption of Krishna. It's all absorption, where our absorption is. Because our mind is like a sponge, especially subtle mind, subconscious mind. It takes in. So now when we go on the streets, when we go on the marketplaces and all, we'll not do anything wrong, but mind is taking in, catching like a sponge. It just takes in all these pictures, all those scenes happening on the streets and all. And then later when we sleep or later when we are there in the daytime, that it starts coming out slowly. And then suddenly you think, why I am getting such thoughts? Because that subconscious mind has absorbed all those things. So that's why it is important for us never to give a chance to get exposed to all these outside things. So Nanda Baba, Brajavasis, Gopis, Yashoda Maya, Gopals, they gave fully for Krishna. Their subconscious mind, their whole existence is filled with Krishna only. That's why output is also coming everything about Krishna. Where is Krishna? How he was doing, how he is in things and all. So 100% absorption. No other second thing. And then that's why there was so much affection and in love with Krishna. So what we say that it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava, anyone know that? We say at the end of 10 offenses reciting, and then every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against all these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, which is Krishna Prem. So that is a Krishna Prem, affection, to have love for Lord Krishna. So that will be possible when we have the proper attraction, attachment, all these things with about Lord Krishna. So how Uddhava replies and how further things goes, that we'll study in our further reading. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is very wonderful how great heroes, 6 Goswamis, and how they exactly followed in the footsteps of this top. So Uddhava also was sent by Lord Krishna. That's why coming in the association of devotees and learning, that itself is a great mercy of Krishna. Here, Krishna gave a chance for Uddhava to go and associate and learn from the topmost devotees, the gopis. So that is Krishna's gift. We read there, right? Krishna's special mercy. So same way in our life, Krishna's special gift will be what? When we come in the association of devotees. And Krishna's greatest punishment is what? When he takes away us from the association of devotees and never allow us to be associated with the devotees. So we have to be there, conduct our behavior in such a way that Krishna will award us that special mercy, as he gave to Uddhav, to go and see Vrindavan, see the gopis and their love for him. Thank you all very much for joining and giving your association. Let us end with Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
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 Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.